Welcome to another episode of Bargain Saturdays, and this week I decided to take a look at Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. I suppose some would argue it's a bit odd that I'd start with the third live-action movie rather than the first one for this month, but you know what? I figured I might as well get the worst of the bunch out of the way first, because there's no denying that this is definitely gotta be the worst one. I haven't even looked at the animated one. I'm still gonna assume it's probably better than this, because it's infamously bad. And the only way you can get any enjoyment out of it at all is if you're taking a guilty pleasure out of all the one-liners that are references, usually to other material, more often than not. Sometimes the one-liners and stuff don't even make sense. Like, I swallowed a frog and I hope it wasn't an ancestor. They're turtles. They're not frogs. This isn't Teenage Mutant Ninja Frogs, so how could they possibly have swallowed an ancestor if they swallowed a frog? Frogs did not evolve into turtles. Those are completely different lines in evolutionary history. Or is this some creator's cheap attempt to explain why they're not frogs? And what would the theme song for that be anyway? Teenage Mutant Ninja Frogs, Teenage Mutant Ninja Frogs, Teenage Mutant Ninja Frogs, Frogs on a lily pad, Frog Power. I digress, but it doesn't really matter. But still, it's a really dumb line. It's not even all that funny unless you're playing a cheap laugh at it. Another problem I suppose I have with the movie is the whole switching clothes thing when you go traveling through time and replace somebody. Like, if you look at the turtles' gloves, the gloves have 3 fingers on their hands. What ancient samurai only had 3 fingers? Okay, I'm sure some of them lost fingers in battle and stuff, but 4 of them having had that issue, all on the honor guard? Like, are the gloves supposed to be worn like this or something? Where you had 2 fingers in some of the holes? That doesn't make any sense. Not to mention, if you trade clothes and stuff, then why do you get to keep your accessories like swords and Walkman, all that stuff? Shouldn't that also be swapped? So when April arrived in the future, she should have had Kenshin's sword, and Kenshin should have had her Walkman, instead of having it chopped up in the future in a stupid little scene that's meant to be funny because they're all freaking out over a freaking Walkman playing music. And then there's other issues that just plague me. Like, it seems like it can't set a proper tone for itself at times. Like, we're meant to be all serious and stuff when Wrath and Yoshi are talking about how you shouldn't fight unless you absolutely have to. But the movie never really establishes why the rebels are fighting Lord Norinaga. It just is, for whatever reason. I mean, maybe it's just meant to set up a star-crossed lovers point between Kenshin and Mitsu. But you know what? Making them star-crossed lovers doesn't mean I'm going to instantly give a shit about them. You have to do more than that, and if you're just gonna be cheap, that just makes it worse. I suppose in the end, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 is just one of those movies that just doesn't work. I think they would have better off if they tried setting it in the future, setting it in the present time for the Turtles. I mean, I realized after they got rid of Shredder, they were hard-pressed for a villain, but it's not like there weren't other villains on the show or in the cartoon series that they couldn't have brought into the movies. I'm sure they could have found some way to do it if they were clever, but no, they dropped the ball on that and decided to go with the whole travel through time plot, and it just didn't work out. Until next time, then. See ya.
What kind of demons are you?
We're turtles, friend. The Teenage Mutant Ninja variety. Sleazeball. Yeah.